Previously, we looked at the multiplication division rule, in which we used our significant figures in our given measurements to determine what we round our final answer to. But if you have addition, subtraction, then you would want to use not significant figures, but you would want to use decimal places. So if you had addition or subtraction, you would use decimal places. The least number of decimal places in our calculation will determine what we round our final answer to. So let's do a couple of examples to understand this concept. For A, when we have 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. For the second number, we have 1 decimal place. And for the third number, we have 2 decimal places. So when we go ahead and plug this into our calculator, we end up with 124.867. But we don't want to report it like so, because we are bound by the least number of decimal places in our given numbers, in our given measurements, which happens to be 1 decimal place here. So we will stop right there. Notice that it doesn't matter that we're not looking at significant figures at all. So our final answer here will have 4 significant figures. It does not matter as long as we are maintained by the number of decimal places based on our addition subtraction rule. So now we look to the number to the right and we round this up, so our final answer becomes 124.9. Now for the second example, here we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Here we have 1, 2, 3 decimal places. And here we have 1, 2 decimal places. And when we plug this into our calculators, we end up with negative 8.664. But we want to stop at 2 decimal places, right? Which happens to be here. We look to the number directly to the right, and it's 4 or lower. In this case, it's exactly 4. So we keep our number as negative 8.66. Now that you've seen me do a couple of examples, go ahead and take a turn and try it out, and then go replay this video to see if you got the correct answers. So again, here it looks like we have addition and subtraction, so we look at our addition subtraction rule, which says to look at decimal places, not significant figures. So in the first number here, we have 2 decimal places. Here we have 3 decimal places. Here we have 4 decimal places. And here we have 1 decimal place. We plug this into our calculator. We end up with 7.588. But we want to know that we need to stop at 1 decimal place because that's our limiting factor, which then would put us at this value here. We look directly to the right of that, and this is greater than 4, so we round this number up, and our answer becomes 7.6. For our second example, we have 3 decimal places, 2 decimal places, and 3 decimal places. We plug this into the calculator and we end up with 131.108, but we want to stop at 2 decimal places. Again, our limiting factor, our weakest link. So here we have to stop at 2 decimal places. And we look directly to the right. Again, it's bigger than 4, so we round this up and we report our answer as 131.11.